Welcome to another episode of Orange Pod Sports. We got a whole new, before the episode, I had to fix the lighting and I almost broke my computer doing so, but it's okay. We got the whole gang here again, Adam and Tom. So, guys, about Notre Dame possibly belonging in the college football playoff.
Never again.
Never again.
Never again.
They got
You have to give them like a 1-year suspension like they gave Oklahoma.
Okay, well the thing is, you can't just like say they're not allowed in because every year is a different team.
Okay, my thing is, who would have done better? I guess maybe
Exactly.
Georgia would have done. I think Georgia would have been like the best chance, but they had 3 losses, right?
Yeah, I mean the thing about it is that you have to do the team that gives them the best chance to win, but also you have to play fairly in the way that the resume building makes sense.
The resume is like the most important thing, really, because Georgia had 3 losses, right?
Yeah, I think I had 2.
yeah.
Okay. Like you obviously can't put 1 loss. You can't put 2-loss Georgia in over 1-loss Notre Dame when Notre Dame's 1 loss was to Clemson, and Notre Dame beat Clemson. But at the same time, Georgia probably would have had the best chance.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that, only because, and this is not taking away from Cincinnati in any way, they played unbelievable. But Georgia, without some awful clock management from Cincinnati, lost that game. They lost. And the team who I think would have beaten them or would have given them the best chance to win is probably Texas A&M. It wouldn't have been all that close. It probably would have been the same result.
I don't know. Didn't A&M lose to Alabama by
more?
30?
They lost by like 27 or something like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like in a higher stakes game, it'd be a tighter game. Hence, Florida, who I would have thought would have gotten floored by Alabama.
It was just not a good year for depth.
There was I don't know. That's why we need the expansion is important, I think.
But I mean, I agree with expansion, but I don't know necessarily if this was the year that like really we had 4 teams that really could have won. Like last year, I think who was in it last year? We had LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, and who was the 4th team?
Oklahoma.
Got those 3 teams seriously all could have won.
Yeah.
No, Oklahoma gave up 5 touchdowns.
I said 3 teams, Tom. I didn't say all 4. I said 3.
You said 3. And it was again.
Oh, sorry, I heard 4.
It was a roll of the dice. Like, okay, LSU was by far the best team, but on a given year, that Ohio State team was very good. That Clemson team was very good. Both of those teams, I think, are better than probably the 2 teams that this year.
This year was again a 3-team race, as Adam said last year was, because obviously Notre Dame.
But I feel like all 3 teams are better than all 3 teams this year. I feel like all 3 teams from last year are better than this year.
I
agree with that.
Though Alabama, I think, is like a cut above.
They could give any team a run, but like even looking at the 3 seed Ohio State, it had Chase Young and Justin Fields and Jeff Okudah, and they were stacked.
Yeah, I believe that any 4 seed will, aside from Ohio State in 2014, will give a 1 seed a problem, considering the 1 seed is usually the 1 and 2 are usually like a cut above the 3.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah. I think it just takes like a certain year, and you got to have a good crop of people.
Yeah.
Do we think Ohio State only playing 6 games will help them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
it's almost unfair to put them in because
going into it, they were like, oh, like I think who was it? It was one of those college football analysts because there's like a trillion of them.
Anybody can be a college football analyst.
Dude, anyone could be a college football
analyst. Technically right now we're analyzing it. We're college football analysts.
That's true.
I think I have the most football experience with 1 year, 5th grade tackle football.
There you go.
I think, that's
you have me beat.
Yeah.
I had flag football in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
I think, yep.
But no, so what was I gonna say? Oh, so what was I gonna say? What were we talking about?
We were talking. We got the
Oh my
sidetracked
God.
by football experience. We were talking about. Crap.
Ohio State with 6 games has an
Yes.
advantage.
Oh, right. Yeah. So they were saying that that they would rather have played the 12, however many games Clemson played. I think it was 11. Than played 6 because they're in better rhythm. I'm like, after 6 games, you're in rhythm.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
I mean, I will say people were saying that about Brady. Like I said this about Brady. Like, oh, after like 5 games, 3 games, however, he needs to get it together. And then after like 12 games, Brady got it together with his wide receivers and has been going on.
I think that's a little different because you have Tom Brady in a completely new system. And this year you have the same quarterback from the same previous year with very similar wide receivers, similar offensive line, like same coaching system, same program.
I mean, that's true.
I think that because my brother was like all up in arms that Ohio State was in the playoff. He's like, this is a joke. Like they played 6 games. I was like, well, they proved that they deserve to be there. They're obviously.
I mean, did they?
Yes.
By winning, they proved it.
Well,
and
by winning the Big Ten, but like that wasn't an entirely high bar.
No, by beating Clemson, they automatically proved
by
it.
beating. By beating Clemson, yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying beforehand.
No, but the Big Ten, I mean, it means something, but I mean, it doesn't mean a whole lot.
This year it didn't.
Good.
No.
Most years. And they passed their biggest test in the Big Ten, scarcely, but they passed it in Northwestern. And Northwestern, obviously, like I said, is
they have an unbelievable defense. That's all we learned from after.
Yeah.
Beating Clemson by that much.
So I'm looking through the other bowls that we picked. Texas A&M, North Carolina was good until the end. Iowa State rolled Oregon, and it's a shame that I wasn't 1 game closer in the standings because now this is why I want to start with college football outside of the championship game. I'm eliminated with 1 game to go.
Damn.
I'm out. I'm 7-9. I clawed back to 7-9, but I'm out.
Maybe you shouldn't have started 0-4, Aaron.
Yeah. Or you shouldn't have picked. Who was? You had the worst.
Picked Notre Dame.
What was it? Oklahoma and.
I picked Iowa State and Notre Dame.
Iowa State and Notre Dame in 1 weekend.
So the final game between Adam and Tom. Adam has to fade Tom to win. It'll be essentially like a head-to-head strength of schedule kind of tiebreaker, whatever. You'll finish tied, but if Adam wins, because Tom is 1 game ahead of Adam. Tom is 9. Okay. Adam is 8. If Tom wins, he wins. That's it.
Yeah.
If Adam wins, Adam will get the sort of head-to-head tiebreaker, and even though you're tied in record, Adam will win. So we add a little more stakes to it.
Why does Adam get a head-to-head tiebreaker?
So we add stakes, and it's the final game.
Okay, but my thing here is Adam's going to pick after.
The thing is, there's no way to break the tie.
No. I think
there's no more games.
I think we should just carry this over if there's a tie in the pro standings.
Are you suggesting it should be a tiebreaker for the pros?
No,
maybe. Or maybe the pros should be a tiebreaker for this.
College and the pro is completely separate.
Different game.
That's true.
So I figure we add some stakes to the national title game. Tom, since he's on top, will have the champions advantage. We'll have the
Tom, you clearly have the advantage here.
And by the advantage I mean he gets to pick
Alabama.
So Adam, in turn, I'm assuming you're going to go Ohio State.
Unless you're going for second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take. Wait.
You have to pick Ohio State.
Wait. I have a question.
Can I go to third if I'm wrong?
If you lose and I win, yes, you go to third. No,
okay.
I don't know. We would be tied for second because I'd finish 9. You would finish 8 and 9.
Well, Aaron, who are you picking?
I'm picking Alabama.
Adam,
are you playing for second place?
I might.
We got Doug Peterson in here.
What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
I can't come in third in 2 things.
No, it would be tied for second.
On the graphic, because I want this to mean something, I will put you ahead of me. So
that's kind of dumb. AA is
kind of
obviously
dumb.
ahead of AB.
I was gonna say at least it's alphabetical, and then I was like, wait, no.
No, but the thing is, you'll be tied for second. It's not like you finish in last.
It's true, but I also tied for third.
No, that's not true.
That's not how it works.
In
That's
a
not how
way,
it works.
yes.
Adam, just pick Ohio State, please.
I don't know.
This guy
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Ohio State anyway because I think it'll be way more fun.
and Tom and you got to be a winner. You got to have the winner's mentality. Mamba.
You gotta go for the win. You gotta go for the win.
Adam's going with the Doug Peterson mentality.
But they don't lose.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't know. Doug Peterson's got a weird mentality sometimes. Sometimes it's just like
Playing to win has not been his forte this season.
yeah, it used to be, but he still does his weird plays. He just also loses or ties.
So we have the final high stakes matchup between Adam and Tom. And before we get into the NFL playoffs, I wanted to mention the big news out of baseball today.
Huge.
The Mets got Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco.
How juiced are you, Aaron?
I was very excited. And considering they only gave up Andres
Nothing.
Jimenez, Ahmed Rosario, Josh Wolf, and Isaiah Green, that's nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I mean, I was a big Ahmed Rosario guy when he got
Rosario's
called
a
up.
decent shortstop, and Jimenez is decent too, but I'd much rather have Lindor and Carrasco.
I mean, I think everyone would. So,
And
I mean, I'm a little. I mean, I was a little surprised, but also I'm not.
Well, the Indians, I saw it's basically like a conspiracy theory, but there's been no instances of promoting baseless conspiracy theories going wrong, so I'm going to say it. I saw someone say the deal for the Indian Stadium is up in 2023, so they're going to keep going this year. Next year they're going to change the name, get like the money from the new name, and then they're just going to like leave with that new money. Like they have
where would they go?
I don't know, Memphis,
Ew.
Nashville.
It seems like a smaller market.
Nashville's a lot better, but
Nashville's a big market.
probably Nashville or Charlotte.
I don't see the Cleveland Indians moving.
I don't either. I think that's a very baseless conspiracy theory.
I think that's a stretch, especially it's a
wrong
historic
with baseless
team.
conspiracy theories.
It's not saying the Cubs are going to move, but like it's up there.
Hey,
and teams to move.
Is Cleveland going to build them a new stadium?
They don't need to build them a new stadium.
Depends on who's who's paying.
Progressive is a nice stadium.
I don't know. That's just my Tom's baseless conspiracy theory. But I will say the Indians' payroll being $35 million this year is disgraceful. That's like the current one.
That's the way it goes.
So the Mets, with that trade, their World Series odds.
Yeah, what are the
best in the MLB?
Really?
Yep. Their World
best?
The sixth best.
Oh, I thought you said best.
You cut out for a second and said best, and I was like, what?
The Mets, I'm trying to look for the number here. The Mets World Series odds are now 1,400. So they are behind the Dodgers, Yankees, Padres, Braves, and White Sox.
People might call me a hater, but I never thought Francisco Lindor was really that good.
Adam, let me have this.
Adam, we'll be able to see. You'll be able to see close up this summer. So.
I mean, hopefully. I mean, I'll pull up his stats real quick, but as we speak. But I've always thought he was like he's good, but the numbers were never really there for me. Where I was like, that guy's like he's not like an MVP in my mind.
Yeah, but he's a high quality shortstop.
Okay, but you don't need it. Trey Turner is not an MVP, but
yes, he is.
Actually, last year he should have been an MVP candidate. But in general, Trey Turner's not an MVP, but he's a very solid player.
They
Ryan. Yeah. All right. Here you go, Aaron. Are you ready? Are you ready for me to bring you down a little bit? Do you accept batting average as like an acceptable stat?
Yeah.
Okay. Last season he batted 258.
I consider like 260 like okay. So he's
284 the season before, 277 the season before that, 273. Like
it's consistently okay. It's consistently pretty decent.
Yeah.
He had 313 his rookie season. which was good. In second season, 301. But I mean, like he's good. He's a big name, and you'll get lots of jersey sales, and that's exciting. And
A
he's
lot of
very
teams, that's all they want.
But
he's an exciting player to watch. He's a very good fielder. For what they traded for, that was a great trade. But like people were like, oh, like I'd give up the king's ransom for him. It's like I would not give up the king's ransom for him.
I agree with that.
the thing is, like Mets fans have been waiting like forever.
Yeah.
For
You
these
guys
guys
had to get a big name. You had to get a big name this offseason, or else you guys were screwed.
How
because
is Lindor going to get freakishly injured like days before the season? What's your bet on this, Aaron?
I'm not going to bet on it because I'm not going to will it into existence.
Not going to like fall into
him
a
and
hole
Yoenis
running away from
Cespedes
a
are going to
boar.
go bull hunting.
The
And
last
they're
Boar
gonna
hunting,
be
wasn't it?
bald.
the Mets fans have been waiting for like a big move and a splash move that doesn't involve Robinson Cano at like 34 years old. We've been waiting for this forever. I'm excited for the upcoming
Poor
season.
Mets don't have any big names, unlike the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah, who you guys claim is not the best pitcher because you have Max Scherzer, who's inferior.
Okay.
But the Mets fans have been waiting at least for a fielder for a while, and they got a solid pitcher in Carrasco as well.
Carrasco is good, and I will say one thing: you guys are slandering Robinson Cano, but I will say I was bat boring opening day not this obviously not last season, but last season, and I like got starstruck when I saw Robinson Cano, and it hadn't happened to me since, and it had never happened to me before. But I like
why him?
Robinson Cano for whatever reason. I was like, oh my god, that's Robinson Cano.
Probably because
it's happened to me
steroids
twice.
emanating off
It's
of him.
happened to me twice. I saw it was like Robinson Cano, and I was like, oh my god, that's Robinson Cano. That's so sick. And I saw him in the club there, like the other team's clubhouse. And I saw Yadier Molina. Those were the only two players that I've been like,
okay, I kind of understand that.
And
There's
so
so many other ones that you've seen.
I've always been a Robinson Cano guy. I think he's really good. I've always thought he was really good. So, and he has one of the nicest swings in baseball.
Roids.
Adam, did you start when Bryce Harper was there?
I was there. I had Bryce Harper for a season.
I don't understand that then. How you could look at Bryce Harper and be like,
he saw Bryce every day.
Like, good point, I guess.
I see Bryce Harper, I see Max Scherzer, I saw Strasburg, I see all of them every day. So it's
saw Strasburg
fine.
on the street one day, right, Adam?
Yeah, we were driving down Wisconsin Avenue. I was like, oh Tom, look, it's Steven Strasburg. And then it didn't even occur that you might wanted to have stopped and talked to him. And I was just like, oh, I'll see him later.
See him later.
I saw him later that day at work, and I was like talking to my boss, like, yeah, I saw Steven at a hotel earlier today. That's my bad, Tom, by the way. I'm sorry I took away an opportunity to meet Steven Strasburg. It didn't even occur to me. I think I told you that like 20 minutes later. I was like, oh, sorry. I didn't realize if you wanted this job or anything.
It happens. It happens.
Maybe we can. I mean, I met Holtby one time, and I didn't say hi.
I'm assuming if Tom hasn't like brought it up, he wasn't horribly upset about it.
But no. I met Holtby. I was at a Nats game with Lily, and I was like, Holtby was there, and I didn't say like I never take advantage of like meeting people, you know.
You think you think yourself is better than them. You're like,
yeah,
and
better than Holtby.
And you didn't meet the president at the World Series game either.
That wasn't my fault. He didn't come down.
Oh, really?
I mean, I don't think he wasn't invited. So
yeah,
it is what it is. But that's politics. So
we don't talk about that here. So moving in to the NFL playoffs after a wild week 17, you guys are in.
We are in.
One not done. Those shirts are so stupid.
Yeah, I saw. So when the Bills won the division for the first time in 25 years, I was obviously not to brag. I was obviously going to get a shirt. So I went to look and I was like, I hate these. Like, these are awful. So I got one that like just says normally like AFC East or division champions or something like that.
Yeah.
And
gotta get one.
But like every team has it and like one not done. I was like, so
those are awful. MLB does those too, like the playoff sweatshirts.
You can do like they give you it, and then at a certain point, I only know this because I lived it. You get to at a certain point you get to pick your slogan.
Yeah.
You get to
because
pick it
it
for the
switched
World
to
Series.
like finish the fight one.
Yeah, at the World Series, you get to pick.
Baseball and hockey, I think you get to pick your slow. No, hockey you don't. Baseball,
Well, hockey, you don't really wear sweatshirts that much on the field, on the ice.
But you wear them during like the press conferences and stuff.
That's true.
Also,
baseball, I think you get to pick. Like all other sports, just say like playoffs or something like that, or whatever.
I have hockey announcements. As two hockey guys, as I know both of you are, I have a question for you guys.
All right.
How do you guys feel about them selling ad space on helmets?
Okay.
It's fine. Like, I don't care.
I don't have a problem with it. For the Caps, it's kind of weird just because it's like the Capital One logo is replacing the Capitals logo. It's not like instead of, it's not like alongside, it's instead of, which is like kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
Otherwise, I don't really care. I mean, the teams need money. So
Yeah.
funnier is they're selling off the ad rights to the divisions.
That was terrible. That's terrible. What division are we in now?
You're in
the Mass Mutual, right?
I don't know because the Devils and the Capitals have different ones and they're in the same division. The Devils have Prudential and the Capitals have Capital One.
No.
Come out with theirs. I don't even know.
The division names. The helmet logos are different.
Yeah, the divisions are not, it's no longer called the Metropolitan anymore.
It's like
stupid.
Well, they realigned the divisions. Because all the Canadian teams are in the same division now.
Yeah, right.
Makes sense.
And it's like the Mass Mutual East Division, which is really dumb.
I doubt it's gonna last long. If it's
I don't think
it's be like this season or something like that.
I think they'll keep the helmet stickers because like you don't want to get rid of money, but people are gonna make fun of like nobody wants to hang like a Mass Mutual Division champion in their the rafters. So I think they'll get rid of it.
We glanced over. We didn't talk about this last episode. Zdeno Chara.
Zdeno Chara is now a Washington Capital, and that is very weird to see. It
is kind of weird.
Hopefully King Henrik gets better. It would have been very weird to see him in a Capitals uniform as well.
It would have been weird to have both of them.
Yeah, really weird.
Legends.
I have my doubts about Chara. I just think he's old and quite potentially washed up, but it's a shorter season, so I think that's better for him. So
and more excitement. Like I'm way more like likely to turn a game on now that we have Chara just to see it than I was 2 weeks ago.
You have Ovechkin, like what?
Ovechkin's one of the best. Ovechkin's the best pure goal scorer.
The thing is, I don't watch NHL regular season. I don't.
I mean, that's fair. Playoffs are more exciting.
Infinitely.
I will say NHL playoffs are one of the more exciting playoffs.
Yeah, because anything can happen.
Wait, one last piece of hockey news. USA beat Canada, and then there were celebrations in the nation's capital because of it. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what we want to call it.
Those jerseys are so sick. They are the throwback, throwback Miracle on Ice jerseys.
Yeah,
very cool.
Oh, chills.
All right, that was talking hockey.
Talking hockey. Whenever Matt Barzal gets his contract finally, then we can bring hockey up again, or when it starts. But so we have.
What do you think will happen first?
Hockey starts back up because
before Barzal.
Because hockey starts in a week, and he doesn't have a contract. So I think because he wants a long-term deal, and the team wants a bridge deal.
Is this going to be the first time like a hockey player opts out for the season?
I don't know. I don't think he's opting out. I think more holding out because.
Holding out. That's what I meant.
Maybe. Who knows? It's really annoying that they haven't signed their best player yet. But we have the NFL playoff schedule for this week. Saturday, 1:00 is Colts at Bills. 4:40 is Rams at Seahawks. 8:15 is Bucks at football team.
Woohoo!
We play on the same day. Sunday, Ravens Titans play on ESPN. Bears Saints play on CBS and Nickelodeon.
I'm going to be watching that Nickelodeon.
I'm going to watch it on Nick for sure. That's going to be so funny.
At 4:40, and Cleveland Pittsburgh play at 8:15. Now, I think in the NFC, what you're going to see is not including the Washington game, is that the two wild cards are going to get blown out, being the Bears and the Rams. They're going to get
the Rams. The Rams beat the Seahawks,
but
in Seattle.
In Seattle,
I wouldn't write the Rams off.
Seattle with their starting quarterback, who was playing good at the time, and
Jared Goff didn't throw a touchdown that game.
I still think having your starting quarterback matters, and even I think right now with Jared Goff being hurt, like you're not gonna be any worse off with Wolford. He played okay.
Won the game.
He won the game, even with Arizona starting or playing their second stringer.
Are you gonna request him on LinkedIn?
I should.
He's on like LinkedIn.
If I win, I'll delete it or something.
Oh yeah, he may have deleted it now.
But but it'll be Wolford against a truthfully red hot Seahawks defense, which is a phrase I did not think I would say this season.
I know. What happened to them?
I don't know. Carlos Dunlap has been on fire for them. He's been unbelievable.
But they got rid of Snacks or whatever his name is.
Yeah, because he was like a healthy scratch like 2 weeks or 3 weeks in a row or something like that. So we will go through the games, talk about them, pick them, whatever, like we normally do. And this time it might be shorter because we only have 6 games to pick.
We do.
It's kind of sad though.
We're getting down to it.
Getting down to it. Let me check the standings real quick.
Don't worry. I can always, if we need some filler time, I can always do talking NBA because we did skip over that.
What is there in the NBA to talk about other than Mark?
Russell Westbrook keeps losing with triple doubles.
The Wizards' defense is worse than the Capitals' defense.
Okay, so
with an O.
Yes.
So, as the standings stand, no pun intended, I am in first. Tom is 3 games back. Adam is 5 games back.
Aaron, are you getting nervous?
A little bit.
There's not many games left to pick, though, is the thing.
But there's more than enough.
Can we make the Super Bowl worth double?
Depends on where we are.
Yeah, Tom. If Aaron's like 5 up, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. If I'll tell you this. So we're gonna do 2.
Can we do the same thing with Adam and I?
Yeah. If it gets to that scenario, then yes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do 2 things today. We're gonna pick the playoff games for this weekend, and then we're going to pick our Super Bowl matchups. So,
wait, do we have our wait? Like our first episode, we predicted the playoffs.
Let me see if I can find that.
That would be interesting.
Who is most incorrect?
I don't think we're that far off.
I know in the beginning of the season, I was thinking about it before we started doing the show a couple weeks. I'd
be shocked if you didn't write it down.
I know let's see, can I find it? The first week.
Probably in your Google Docs, right?
Yeah, it would have.
Is it just the same Google Doc every week?
No, it's a different one, but they're all titled the same thing except for week. Okay.
I don't remember WZAG when against the rules we would just copy the whole, like we would just do the same thing and just change it for the teleprompter.
You just gotta change it, and then somebody would read it'd be like Friday, and it would be like today is Wednesday, and it'd be like November, and it'd be like the October 30th, and like jeez.
So let me find it here. But what I wanted to say was, where did I put it? You guys can fill in with filler here while I find it because I'm not gonna be able.
Okay. All right, Tom. Tom had surgery. How is your shoulder?
My shoulder's doing okay. It is really only painful like when I sleep weird or when I bump into something with it. And that happens more than you would think.
That's not surprising, knowing you.
But and then I also I was wearing like, Adam, you know that like flannel coat thing?
Yeah,
like you have too. I was walking with it, and so I can put like my right arm in it, but the left sleeve just like hangs down on
And
the
then it
other
always
side.
falls off.
Well, no, and I hit like a glass with my my left
geez.
sleeve and knocked it off the counter, and it shattered. And this is like on Christmas, I think. Not fun.
We can talk rowing. There you go. Rowing talk.
So I'll ask the question and then you guys talk about it. So I know Tom hasn't been training due to his surgery, but Adam, how's your off-season training going? Are you following?
You know, it's not going bad. I got an erg. So
Adam has an erg, and that's really the first step.
Okay.
So, what did I do today? I did. I truth be told, I'm a little bit behind. I think I'm like 2 days behind. So I think we had 4x12 the other day.
Yeah.
UT2, I believe. So I did that today.
So so before we bore the viewers even more, listeners even more, I found it, but I only wrote mine down. I'm pretty sure I don't.
Oh.
I could tell you the playoff predictions I had at the beginning of the season. I know I went 11 of 14, but only on teams total, but only went 4 out of 8 on the division winners. But
did you not even write down division winners? I remember
I wrote down division winners for this one, and I remember the ones I picked at the beginning of the season before the show. But I'm not going to bring those up. I'm going to bring up the most recent ones. So I had Pittsburgh the 1, Kansas City the 2, Buffalo the 3, Tennessee the 4. So division winners all correct. Baltimore the 5, Vegas the 6, Cleveland the 7. So missed one, though. At that point in the season, it was like
that was like 4 games in, right?
No, it was further than that because it was week.
Did we do it halfway?
It was when Seattle. It was the week I was down in your room. It was Seattle.
Seattle versus
Buffalo.
The Bills. So that's like week like 7.
Yeah. Then Seattle was I picked the 1 seed. Tampa the 2, Green Bay the 3, Philly the 4, Arizona the 5. New Orleans. This is ugly. New Orleans the 6, and the Rams the 7.
I mean, you got most of the teams.
Yeah. So I got the exact amount of teams correct that I did in my preseason. It was just different teams that I got wrong. But
not bad at all.
But so Colts Bills. I don't know what you guys thought, but are you like from your thoughts of the playoff field, surprises, disappointments, teams in, not in? I can think of one that. Or I can think of 2, but 1, the 49ers injuries. I'm not going to pin that on them.
No, that's
the Houston Texans. Oh my goodness.
Trade him to Washington.
Okay. Deshaun Watson, like how bad can their defense be that he's not the problem whatsoever? Like he's been the least criticized quarterback for a losing record that I've ever seen.
Because he's not doing anything wrong. He's playing great.
Okay. But at some point, in my opinion, almost every time a team goes 4-12, it's the quarterback's fault. I haven't seen a single person say that, and I find it hard to believe he's not completely at fault.
Because he led the league in passing, Tom.
He had a fumble. He had a fumble that lost them the game.
The Texans do this all the time, where they'll have a really good season, and then the next one they'll have a really bad season, and they just do it over and over and over. So Deshaun Watson is the second most sacked quarterback in the league behind Carson Wentz, who, fun fact, did not play since week 13 and still was the most sacked quarterback in the league.
That's awful.
Yeah, and he has the most interceptions in the league, or tied for the most at 15. Considering Jameis threw 30 last year, that's a 50% cut in the leading interception total.
How do you throw 30 interceptions in a season?
Bro, that's he needed
surgery. They still went 8-8. It wasn't even like they were terrible.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson was sacked 49 times. But watching him, when you watch him, he runs into the sacks. Or he creates the sacks himself.
Sacks are often a quarterback stat. You can't always say it's on the O-line, because especially for somebody as mobile as Watson.
Right. And you see he'll hold the ball forever. And when you hold the ball forever, the defense is gonna get home.
Yeah.
So I think at that point, like I think Deshaun Watson is obviously a super talented quarterback.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he's a lost cause.
I think any team should, if they have the chance, give the farm for him because he's only 26 or he's 25 actually, and he's already a star and he's proven that. But
Washington's.
I'm unsure about farm, but I will agree. Like, I think, but people are claiming him to be like the second best quarterback in the league, which obviously isn't true.
Yeah. So,
but, yeah,
the Texans are one that I noticed, and a surprise for me. The Indianapolis Colts. I did not think they were going to be very good.
Well, they lost to the Jaguars week 1.
Yeah, and they 11-4 since then, and they've been very good. Their defense has been very good. Their running game has been very good as well in later weeks. I feel like they and the Steelers are like the exact same team.
The Colts just had like less hype, so they're okay to play how they
have less TikToks.
Yes.
It's okay for them to play how they play, like some bad games, some like laid eggs, because it's like, oh, it's Phil Rivers. Like anything is acceptable. He's a billion years old.
As long as they win.
Yeah.
I thought a surprise was the Eagles. I thought they were going to be better.
Yeah, they were horrible.
They were horrible. And I thought the Patriots would be better too.
Yeah, I thought the Patriots were going to make the playoffs.
I thought they could
I never had faith in Cam.
I thought they could still hold on to it. I thought Cam would really bring it back.
So
I heard a rumor that Ron wants Cam, and I will be
no.
No.
Instead
of you guys and to watch out for you jumping off the Capitol, not onto it.
No, I would storm the Reston offices of it used to be called Redskin Park. I'm not sure what it's called now, but wherever it is, Team Park. Yes, that would be a place to storm if that happened.
That would be.
So leading into the playoff picks, so Colts, Bills are favored by 6.5. They will have fans, 6,500 or 6,700 to be exact. Bills are 6.5 point favorites. I'm going the Bills. I think the Colts and Steelers are almost the exact same team. Just the Colts have a little bit better of a running game. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think the Bills are too red hot right now to drop this one. And I think they'll be prepared.
I think the Bills are up there in teams you don't want to play. I don't think they're better than the Chiefs, but they're hotter than the Chiefs, and I think you want to play them. So you don't want to play them. So I think the Bills might be the buzzsaw in the AFC this year.
Yeah, I think we're going Bills sweep because I mean they're just like the Bills are kind of a cool team.
On fire. Well, yeah.
I mean they're just like. Did you see that thing? It was like Buffalo has more fun.
Yeah.
I was like, they're a team that looks like they're having fun.
They're having a blast today. They like in the middle of practice, like some song came on and they like took like a 15-second like dance break and then went back to practice. It was
it looks fun. It looks like they're having a good time.
Touch this. That's what it was.
Hey, may I have a point to make though. What other quarterback is famous for dancing? Drew Lock. Do you want these comparisons, Aaron?
People are saying that Josh Allen is like Drew Lock. You know who also dances? Baker Mayfield. Do you want Josh Allen to be like Baker Mayfield?
Comment. No. Next.
Do you know who also dances? Dances Juju. Do you want him to be like Juju?
Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Rams at Seahawks. Seahawks are 3.5 point favorites. I think they win by more. I don't have faith in John Wolford against Seattle's defense. I think the Rams' luck has. I truthfully think they got lucky with Kyler Murray's situation. To their credit, they won the game. Their defense is playing well. I think this one has potential to be like a 24-13 or 24-10 like slugfest. But
okay, the Seahawks could barely put the football team away 2 weeks ago. With Dwayne Haskins.
John Wolford is not better than Dwayne Haskins.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
I don't know if I agree with that.
You haven't watched.
You haven't watched enough games to know.
Yeah, how stagnant the offense was with him is
Well, yeah, I know that he would throw like 7 of 14 for like 80 yards and an interception.
It wasn't 80 yards. It was like 20, like 25.
He would throw I just think I'm gonna go with the Rams. I don't think the Seahawks defense can just like continue doing well on just like pure dumb luck because like it's not they're old. I know you are in the Jamal Adams fan club, Aaron, but
Oh, I hate Jamal Adams.
I cannot stand him. I just got to uninstall Adobe notification on my computer. End of an era. But continue. I'm sorry.
I'm going with the Rams. I think this is
Old
my
choice.
first
Old choice. I just
catch
couldn't pick
Aaron
a team that
pick,
didn't
but-
have their starting quarterback. I just couldn't
that's
do it.
fair. I'm gonna go with the upset here.
Bold.
If Vegas thinks it's gonna be Seahawks by 3.5, I think they're thinking something's going to be closer than it
appears.
So I'm gonna say.
All right, Tom. I like the reasoning. I like it.
Adam, are you
Tom? What does fortune favor?
The bold.
Attaboy.
Does not work. Does not work. We have proven it does not work. But Adam, are you going Seattle?
Yeah, I'm going Seattle.
All right.
Can't pick a team that doesn't have a starting quarterback.
Bucks at Washington. Buccaneers are favored by 8.5.
Too much.
I do agree that it's too much. Tom Brady, in his career, like typically struggles under pressure, and I think Washington's line is going to give him fits. I think they'll find a way to win, but I think they'll have trouble. I think Washington within a score or Tampa within a score.
I think you're right. The thought of playing Tom Brady in the playoffs is just like
it's never happened.
Well, it's never happened. It's a terrifying thought. If someone had told me 3 years ago the Washington football team would play Tom Brady in the playoffs, I'd be like, oh my, like we're in the Super Bowl. Oh my God. Obviously this is a divisional game in Landover. So really, I don't know how it's going to go. I think the Bucks have looked hot, but they haven't played good teams recently, and that's something to think about. But I have to go the Bucks. I can't take the Washington football team over Tom Brady.
The temptation to pick the team has really grown over me in the last 5 minutes, which is dangerous because I watched that Sunday night football game and it was so bad.
Horrendous. Both teams were horrendous.
It was some of their worst. It was some of their worst play all season.
The strategy was to run out the clock for 30 minutes. They scored the touchdown at the very end of the second half, and then it was like just kill clock, but for a half hour.
They came out the gate and we scored did we score a touchdown on the first drive? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're gonna win by 100. I was like, we're going to win by 100. And then they had like three and outs to start the game. And I was like, they can't touch us. They cannot play with us. I was convinced we were gonna win 30-0.
Did you guys see Joe Judge's press conference the day after?
Well, maybe the Giants could be less upset if they actually won more than 6 games.
As much as I agree with that sentiment, they should win more. A 7-win team shouldn't be in the playoffs, let alone 6.
Well, it's better than 6.
But I agree that it's a disgrace to the game what the Eagles did, because let me explain. That was the grossest example of purposefully losing a game.
You don't know that.
He
said before the game he wanted to get his
Jalen Hurts looked like he was trying to lose the game.
But the thing is, your young quarterback who may be your starter in the future could use that experience of possibly coming back, dealing with a tough game, churning out a win. But the thing is, he didn't take Nate Sudfeld out after the first arm punt, essentially. Then he fumbled the snap, and then
that wasn't his fault. He
dropped the snap. Like,
it was a bad snap.
He should
It was a
have
bad
dove.
snap.
He should have dove for it, but it
Should've
wasn't
dove
his
on it,
fault
but it was
that
a
the
bad
ball was
snap.
on the ground initially.
I think the sentiment that you get your guys in the building to show up and win every single game is a strong one. And these guys are competitive. They don't like to lose. They don't like the idea of tanking.
Yeah, players.
That's why
players hate tanking.
Yeah, and that's why the Eagles, like some Eagles players, had to be held back from approaching Doug Peterson during that game with Nate Sudfeld, him keeping Nate Sudfeld in the game. I think what the Eagles did, and this is, by the way, no fault to the Washington football team. You guys are beneficiaries of it, but no fault.
We're not
We'll take
apologizing for it.
Yeah, like you can't apologize for it.
You play who you play.
Yeah,
Ron said it, like
You're right.
you win the game that's in front of you.
Right. You're absolutely right. But what the Eagles did, or what Doug Peterson did, not playing to win that game was horrendous.
Being down by 3 and giving up was bad. But I will say, like I said it, Hurts just chucked the ball into the ground on to a wide open player.
But
last drive.
Why are you're not evaluating your third string quarterback? Why? Nate Sudfeld's not going to be your starter. Like, evaluate the guy.
Well, now they know that. Now they know Nate Sudfeld is not a starter.
But at the end of the day, I have no sympathy for Giants fans. Absolutely none. Not a shred. Not a shred. I don't care. You should have won more than 6 games. I don't want to hear anything for the rest of time. You shouldn't have went 6-10. I don't care. I won't listen to any of it.
I will say
more than 6 games next season.
I will say, as a neutral party, I'm more upset with how the Eagles handled it than them screwing over the Giants. I don't know.
That's fair.
I don't know if it was a big FU or not, but I'm more upset with
that would be hilarious if Doug Peterson was just like, now I'll show them to the Giants for like no reason.
Yeah, because the Giants haven't done anything. He's essentially owned the Giants. Like, I don't get it, and I really didn't like it. Again, I am happy for Alex Smith and Ron Rivera to
division champs,
comeback player of the year, and Rivera with that roster that they have should be at least
coach of the year.
Have a breath mention of coach of the year.
Also, the banner doesn't have your record on it. The banner will go up. Doesn't have your record on it.
Well, I think while we're on the Alex Smith subject, does Trevor Heineke get playing time? Because
that's what they said that he might.
Smith looked good in the first half, but in the second half, there's just nothing. Like, there's nothing on his leg. Like,
they just have to. He was like 10 of 11 on quick passes, like 8 yards and lower, and I was like, let's just do that.
I think if you need a spark plug and the offense is just not moving, you put him in. But I don't see why you stray away from Alex Smith.
Yeah, I mean, Smith is 4-1 as a starter, and like
5-1.
5-1. Arians said this. Arians was like, "We're playing Alex Smith, not Dwayne Haskins. Like, you can't discount the football team."
Right.
And that's very true.
And that's why I almost want to pick them. And
are you gonna?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I think they have
a
chance to win.
I'm gonna do it.
Next game, Ravens at Titans. Ravens.
Wait, no, I'm not gonna do it. I can't lose.
Oh my God.
I can't lose a game.
Ravens are Adam. You got to fade us somewhere here.
I'm not gonna do it. I'll fade you somewhere else.
Ravens at Titans. Ravens are favored by 3.5. The Ravens are, outside of Buffalo, perhaps the hottest team in football. I am going the Ravens here. The Titans have been so unconvincing. They got lucky that Houston just doesn't know how to play defense. They would have been playing in Buffalo if that did not happen, or possibly playing in Buffalo if that did not happen. I think it's close, as most playoff games are between teams of similar records, but I think the Ravens.
I want to go Titans because, like, I just think the Titans are so good, but it's really hard to beat a team twice, especially when you beat the team the first time in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really hard to repeat a situation like that. There's going to be fans there, right?
I think so.
At M&T?
Yep, in Nashville.
In Nashville.
Oh, it's in Nashville.
Yeah, there have been fans in Nashville all season.
This is probably the first game since Christmas, too. They're going to be fired up. Adam, what's your pick?
I'm taking the Ravens. I don't think the Titans get 2 years in a row beating them in the playoffs.
You know what? I'm gonna say Titans. I think they're a good team. I think they've got a good chance against the. They've shown they can beat the Ravens.
I do not.
The Ravens are. I think the Ravens are gonna. They've really, I think, rediscovered their running game. So I think they're just gonna run all over the Titans defense.
I do not think the Titans' method of winning is sustainable at all. Their defense is horrific. So
That's
Bears, Saints favored by 10. I don't think we need to deliberate this one much on
wait. I will say Bears played them pretty close when Nick Foles was a starter.
Yeah, but they don't start Foles here. No way. Especially with they're
Foles is out.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying. I think Mitch is better, and I'm saying the Bears played it close when Foles was starting.
No, I don't think this week is the week Saints are out. I think Saints are out next weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Saints lost to the Vikings in the at home last year.
I remember that, and I thought that was one of the biggest locks of like any game I'd ever watched with the Saints.
Yeah, like Kirk Cousins.
I was like Kirk Cousins prime time playoffs
in New Orleans.
Vikings are significantly better than the Bears are now.
That's true.
So Tom, are you going Saints?
Yeah, I'm going. I mean, the Saints defense is as good or better than the Bears, and the Saints offense is considerably better. So I'm going to go.
I think we're all rolling Saints.
Final game, Browns at Steelers. Steelers favored by a touchdown. I think the Steelers win by more because the Browns almost surrendered their playoff spot to Mason Rudolph. To Miami, would have been to Miami, but they almost squandered it against Mason Rudolph.
That would have been funny.
A 2-point conversion away from the game being tied, and it would have been the most Browns thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Even worse than going.
And no Stefanski this week either.
Right.
Yeah. Also, breaking news. I've decided to go for the Washington football team. Last answer. I've switched. Sorry, it's been really nagging.
No, Adam's realizing that he's going to pick the same as Aaron for all of these, and the same as me for all but two. So he's like, no, I have to change.
I'm going to change. Aaron, change me.
I'm changing right now. Don't heckle me.
Thank you. Last time with the Navy, Army Navy, never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that was like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was like 4 weeks ago.
So
keep on that though.
Yeah, don't drop that narrative.
Tom,
Aaron,
Steelers.
For all we know, Aaron could be making up these numbers.
That is true. I certainly don't have Actually, I do have nothing but time on my hands, but the desire to go back and double check them all. But I'm going Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to pick the Browns in this. There's no reason to. There's nothing you can look at and say, well, maybe. I mean, you got to go Steelers.
So now we'll close the show. We'll do Super Bowl picks. So my picks, based on the way I see the field playing out, I so desperately want to pick Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl. I think this is a team of destiny. They're on fire. I think they'll continue to be on fire until the season's over or they get eliminated.
Well, I mean, then they will stop being on fire then.
I'm not going to do that to myself because if they lose to the Colts this weekend, then I'll be sad either way, but I'll be extra sad that I picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
That would be funny.
Pick Kansas City and Green Bay, rematch of the first ever Super Bowl.
See, I want to pick that, but that would give me the feeling of bookends, and I don't want a last Super Bowl to happen. That would be bad.
What do you mean?
Well, no, I'm just thinking first and last Super Bowl, but it can't be the last Super Bowl because then there would be something disastrous happening if the NFL stopped.
Sure.
But I don't really see. No offense, Aaron. I don't really see anybody beating the Chiefs, except maybe the Bills. But I don't. They're the Bills, you know what I'm saying here.
Yeah,
they're the Bills.
To be fair, until they break the narrative, until they break through, Sean McDermott, by the way, is in his 2 playoff losses are against AFC South teams. So, but he hasn't been home.
I don't put much stock into the division of the playoff losses.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm just saying superstition,
Yeah.
but continue.
I would actually say the Bills, Packers, but again, it's the Bills, and I just don't know if I can do that to myself. I'm gonna go Chiefs Packers.
I don't want to make it all 3.
You know what? To change it, and
But I was about to change it.
go ahead.
Change it.
I was about to take the Bills.
I was going to
Packers?
take it to the Bills.
I'm going to take Bills Packers. That's a Super Bowl I would really want to see.
Yeah, I don't
know if it's tough to repeat, and
yeah,
I take the Packers in that
they have
one.
not
But
been playing well at all.
I mean, I don't put a lot of stock into that, but
last week I'll give them a pass because they weren't playing their starters. But
it's tough to repeat. Like, how many times has that happened? Like,
not a lot.
I think this is Rodgers' best chance to get another ring.
Yeah, this is it. I don't know how many more chances he's going to get at another Super Bowl, and him only having 1 Super Bowl would be a real knock on his legacy.
I think people said that 3 years ago for Aaron, though.
Yeah.
Like with
it's still
McCarthy on his way out, people were like, "Oh, no more Super Bowl for Aaron. Like, no Super Bowl." Like,
but 3 years ago he's 35. 3 years from now he's 41.
That's fair.
So, he's 37, 38, and it's just like, I don't know how many more shots he's going to get at winning a Super Bowl. So I think this is the one he needs to cash in on.
I agree.
So all of us I have the Packers winning, by the way.
I have the Packers winning.
So
I'm not sure yet. I'll get back to you on that one. But the Packers can't be beat, in my opinion, in the NFC.
Yeah.
I would be worried about like
the Bucks.
Maybe. Yeah.
The Bucks beat the Packers.
And maybe the Seahawks, depending on how they come out this week.
Yeah. So that means we all have Green Bay running the table in the NFC. And I want to close the show with a small little fun fact that I was thinking about for the Bills. The last 2 years, obviously it's a little different because only one team gets by. The 2 seed in the AFC has gone on to win the AFC and win the Super Bowl. New England did it going into Kansas City and winning. Kansas City did it beating Tennessee after Baltimore was knocked out. Can the Bills make it 3 in a row? And with that, we'll sign off.
Cliffhanger.
Tuning in.
All right. Adios.